Hi, and welcome back to Beyond Classroom. I'm so glad you're here. In previous lessons, we saw how the present perfect connects the past to the present, and how the past perfect connects one past action to an earlier past action. In this lesson, we are going to take that understanding a step further. We'll focus on the continuous forms, the present perfect continuous, and the past perfect continuous. These two tenses don't just tell us when something happened. They show that the action was in progress over a period of time. They help us talk about how long something has been happening or had been happening before another event. By the end of this lesson, you'll clearly understand how these two tenses work, when to use each one, and how they differ in meaning and time reference. Let's start. Let's start by reading a short paragraph together. Listen carefully and try to notice how the actions connect to time. Some might still be happening, while others were finished earlier in the past. Ria has been working on her research project all morning. She started right after breakfast and is still typing on her laptop. Last week, she had been preparing the outline for several days before she finally submitted it to her supervisor. Now, she feels more confident because she has been improving her writing step by step. As you listened, which actions felt like they were still going on? And which one felt like it was fully completed in the past? We'll explore that right now. Now, let's look at a few guiding questions. Read them carefully and think about what each one is asking. You can pause the video for a moment to note your answers. Then, we'll check them together in a moment. Let's look back at the paragraph and answer these questions together. For the first question, look at these sentences. Ria has been working on her research project all morning, and she has been improving her writing step by step. Both actions started earlier and are still happening now, or have just recently finished. They describe ongoing activities that connect the past to the present. This is the present perfect continuous tense. We form it with has or have plus been followed by the ing form of the verb. For the next one, look at this part. She had been preparing the outline for several days before she finally submitted it to her supervisor. Here, the action of preparing started first and continued for some time before another past event, submitting the outline. This is the past perfect continuous. We form it with had been, followed by the ing form of the verb. Notice that the second clause, she finally submitted it, is in the simple past, showing what happened later. Next, pay attention to the verb form we use for actions that are still continuing. We use has or have plus been followed by the ing form of the verb to talk about actions that started in the past and continue now. That's the present perfect continuous form. Finally, what does the continuous part tell us? It shows that the action was in progress for a length of time, not just a single moment. We often use for or since to show the duration. So, both tenses focus on duration, but the time connection is different. The present perfect continuous links the action to the present, while the past perfect continuous links the action to another point in the past. Let's make this crystal clear with a timeline. Now let's take a closer look at the difference using a simple timeline. First, the present perfect continuous. Ria has been working on her research project all morning. The action began in the past and is still continuing now. The timeline shows that the activity started in the past and continues right up to the present moment. We form it with has or have plus been, followed by the ing form of the verb. Now, the past perfect continuous. She had been preparing the outline for several days before she submitted it. Here, the action of preparing started, continued for some time, and was completed before the second past action, which is submitting the outline. On the timeline, you can see that the continuous action stops before the later past event. We form it with had been, followed by the ing form of the verb. So, now that you have understood the meaning and use of both tenses, let's see how we can use them in different contexts. Now it's time to practice what you have learned. You will see 6 sentences on the screen. Read each one carefully and decide whether to use the present perfect continuous or the past perfect continuous form. Think about the time reference. If the action is connected to now or is still continuing, use has or have plus been, followed by the ing form of the verb. If the action continued up to another past event, use had been plus the ing form of the verb. And remember, in past perfect continuous sentences, the second clause usually takes the simple past to show what happened next. Pause the video now to complete them. When you are ready, press play to check your answers. Alright, let's check your answers together. Focus on the highlighted parts as we go through each sentence. Number 1. She has been working here since 2020 and still enjoys her job. We use has been working because the action started in the past and is still continuing now. That's the present perfect continuous. It connects directly to the present. Number 2. By the time the flight took off, we had been waiting at the airport for 2 hours. Here, the action of waiting happened first and continued until the flight took off. So, we use had been waiting, the past perfect continuous. Notice the second clause, the flight took off, is in the simple past, showing what happened next. Number 3. He's been studying all morning, so now he needs a break. This one also connects to the present. He is tired now because he has been studying. Again, present perfect continuous. Number 4. When the teacher entered, the students had been discussing the project for several minutes. The discussion started earlier and stopped when the teacher came in. That's why we use had been discussing, the past perfect continuous. Number 5. I've been waiting for the bus for over 20 minutes. This action began in the past and is still going on. So, it is present perfect continuous. And finally, number 6. They had been arguing for a long time before they finally agreed on a plan. The argument continued for a while and ended when they agreed. So, had been arguing is correct. Another past perfect continuous example. So, what do you notice? Both tenses describe duration, how long something continued. But the present perfect continuous connects to now, while the past perfect continuous connects to an earlier past event. And the following clause is usually in the simple past to show what happened next. Great work. In the next slide, we'll quickly recap the key points before wrapping up the lesson. Here is a quick recap. The present perfect continuous shows an action that started earlier and is still going on or had just finished. The past perfect continuous shows an action that continued for some time before another event in the past. Both describe duration, but the time link is different. One connects to the present and the other connects to an earlier past event. That's it for this lesson. If you found it useful, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more lessons. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.